We're not anywhere near Mount Rushmore.
I brought a picture for you.
There they are, Albert. Faces of stone.
Hey everyone, Grayson the Bard here, and welcome back to day 129 of the Hunt a Day. I learned how to do motion tracking in my video editor, so I can do dumb bits like that in the future. So get ready for more David Lynch Cutku. For reasons I can't understand, Jan Cutku gives me David Lynch energy, so get ready for some Twin Peaks shitposting with Monster Hunter attached to it. But today we are going to be talking about Gravios, a monster who, unfortunately, I was spoiled on to return into Monster Hunter Wilds. Not too mad about it. I figured it was going to happen, that there were going to be some monsters I was going to see, and I'm glad it wasn't one of the new ones. I'm glad it was a returning monster. I'm not particularly glad it was Gravios. I don't much care for Gravios. I don't really like him all that much. I'm also not a huge fan of Basarios, but if I had to choose between the two, I think I like Basarios a little bit better. No, as I'm saying it, I realize that's a bold-faced lie. I don't like either of them. I think I like Gravios a little bit better than Basarios just because it does not have the same frustration aspect to it as Basarios does. They both have a very similar gimmick. Basarios is the juvenile version of Gravios, and both of them have a gimmick where they are encased in rock. Their skin is as hard as stone, so very early in the game, a lot of your attacks are going to bounce off of it unless you have something like Mind's Eye or using a bludgeoning weapon in order to break through that stone carapace to get to the soft, fleshy bits underneath. The issue that Basarios has, I don't have Basarios on my Hunt a Day thing, so I'm not going to be talking about him in this hunt, so I'm going to kind of roll that into this. The thing with Basarios is that because you fight it, it's an earlier tier monster, you still fight it when you potentially have like green-yellow sharpness. And you're not getting through that bad boy very easily. Rise kind of fixed Basarios in that respect by giving it a, when it goes enraged, the molten fire that is like part of its moveset, heats up the rock around its body parts, allowing you to get through. Which is fine, but also kind of invalidates his gimmick a little bit. Gravios has the same thing, but because you fight him later, he is more of a Rathalos Diablos tier monster, you don't have to deal with having to worry about sharpness as much. You still bounce off a lot of body parts, especially the back, the face, the tail, all of that, but you can break through that rock, and you'll see it happen a couple times as I attack the chest, which is his main weak point after you break it. First break that happens, you get a little bit of a tear and you see the soft fleshy part underneath Gravios, and then second break it fully opens up the chest. A really cool aspect of this is it causes the fire inside of Gravios to kind of become unstable, so that when he uses his laser beams, you'll see it early in the hunt, every now and again after he uses his laser beam there'll be a puff of fire smoke coming from his body, and then there is an expulsion of fire gas, kind of like what Basarios does. It doesn't happen after every big fire laser, but it happens enough that it can kind of throw you off guard if you're not looking for it. When you break his chest all the way, he can't contain that fire energy more, so that happens after every laser. And I will admit, I think that's pretty cool how as you break parts, as you make the monster weaker and easier to hit, it becomes more dangerous. Because the big, long opening for the laser, you don't have it as consistently as you did before you broke his chest. Knowing that he's going to return in Wilds, I don't want to, I would like to ask that if anyone has seen, gameplay of Basario, or of Gravios and the hunt, anything like that, please don't tell me anything about the hunt. I don't want to know about his moveset. Knowing he's in the game is fine, that's acceptable to me, but I want to see how Capcom revamps his fight for the first time when I'm fighting it. I don't want to know anything about his moves. What I would like to see, honestly, I don't want them to give Gravios the same thing they gave Basarios. It makes sense for the juvenile form, for its skin not to be as thick, for when it gets angry and when it loses control of the heat inside of it, that it becomes softer, it becomes easier to hit. I don't think that makes sense for an adult that should, in theory, be in full control of its power. So I don't want to see them give the same, like, enrage softening mechanic that they gave Basarios in Rise to Gravios. What I would like them to do is, instead of having a, like, big part breaks, I want you to be able to, like, in air quotes, soft break parts, where you get more, like, small breaks in Gravios that let you, like, deal more damage to it before the actual part break itself. Additionally, they could tie it in. I keep forgetting about the wounding mechanic. Because one issue that I realized I had with the gameplay in Monster Hunter Wilds is that the second you get a wound, you want to be popping it with your focus strike. Unless, that was just me playing and I felt very incentivized to do that. I think it would be cool if they had a monster where, rather than getting a wound and then immediately popping it with your focus strike attack, if you want to keep the wounds on the monster, like, they work like softening. They let you, deal more damage to a part. So I think having Gravios be a monster that emphasizes keeping the wounds there for the extra, like, softened part crit damage kind of deal, I think that would be awesome. Gonna be a pain in the ass to fight multiplayer when everyone is just like, unga bunga, let's pop the wounds. But, that's where communication comes in, and where playing with friends is better than playing with randos. I'm kind of glad that Gravios was the monster that I got spoiled on, because I was kind of expecting it. We saw Basarios in Rise and Sunbreak and didn't see Gravios, so in my head I was like, alright, I feel like they're testing the waters in Rise for Gravios to come back, or they're preparing us for Gravios to come back, because he's been gone for a long time. I was kind of expecting it. I didn't have anything hard confirmed, but I was like, it makes sense. I was going to put Gravios as like an 8 or 9 out of 10 before I knew. And I mean, hey, I was right. I got good instincts, I guess. And when it comes to returning in a future game, well, he's 100% going to. He's going to be in Wilds. Bada bing, bada boom. Now, do I think that means we're also going to see Basarios? That I don't know. I think it makes sense for us to, for Basarios to be in the game as like a precursor to Gravios, but I can't say for sure. And I'm not planning on talking about him for a hunt today, so I'm just going to say maybe. Thank you all so much for watching. Please stick around until the end of the hunt if you can. I fought high rank Gravios today because I don't have a whole lot of time this morning. So it's a little bit shorter. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Let me know what you thought about the cutaway bit at the beginning. If anyone recognizes that scene from Twin Peaks, let me know. I love Twin Peaks. I love David Lynch. R.I.P. big man. And until next time, I'll see you next time.